Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another upload about my small collection of Leica cameras. I want to introduce you to the newest member of the collection, but before I do that, if you can hear any children screaming and making a general cacophony in the background, then it's some neighbours two doors up the road. We're just starting, I think it's week 5 now, in the lockdown in the UK. And I've been busying myself doing various things. And I just bought another Leica IIIC. You have been introduced to this one before. This one is a 1950 one, it's a post-war one. And it's wearing an f2 Scimitar lens. The new member is this one. I didn't really intend to buy any more Leicas for a while, but a few weeks back it did enter my head that it would be quite nice to have an earlier 3C in the collection. I did originally back in the 70s, and I have shown you photographs of it on some of the previous uploads. I did have a 1942 Leica 3C K with the K suffix after the body number, indicating that it had a heavier duty ball bearing shutter. One of the things about the 3Cs is their production run between 1940 and 1950. Because these were produced in the war, there are sort of little interesting variations in finish. The chrome finish on these two occasionally had to be replaced with a sort of a black or a grey paint, and some of them had different shutter material made from really whatever was suitable and available. But I'm not going to make this a particularly long upload. Just to introduce you to this one. It's quite interesting now because the one here that you've seen before is a 1950 example, and it's actually in shark skin. I didn't mention that, I don't think, on the last time. It's still vulcanite, but it's just got a different finish. I don't know really how many of the 3Cs were finished in this, and I think it's probably only the 3Cs that had this material, but this one's a post-war one dating from 1950. But the new member is a really early one, because this one is a 1941. And the reason I wanted to do a quick sort of, if you like, comparison between the two is because this one is a stepper. Now, for those of you who wonder what I'm on about, it's quite simply this little step here that the advance rewind lever is sitting on. All of the, as far as I know, all of the wartime ones featured this. And if you can, I don't know whether you can see the other one, the post-war one, it doesn't, it's a flat, it's completely flat there, no step. Now, I don't know why this feature was included on the earlier ones. I think it's something to do just with the way the internal mechanics were designed. It's only a couple of millimeters, well, probably about 3, maybe 4 millimeters high, and it is something that, as far as I know, only featured on the 3C. The 3C was the first of the Leica rangefinders to have a complete redesign. The one-piece die-cast chassis was a completely new concept, and they're easily recognised by the fact that you've got this additional bright work here. On all the previous models, the black trim ran right across to the lens. The idea, I think, of having the die-cast chassis was it may have perhaps been less expensive way of producing the chassis, but I believe also in theory it gave more mechanical rigidity, and because all the mechanical bits are effectively hung off this one-piece chassis. Anyway, that is a stepper. So I've got sort of, I suppose, examples of the extremes of 3C production. This one, a 1941, and this one, a 1951. So that's sort of the first year of production and the last year of production. I haven't put any film through this camera. I've got a suspicion it might benefit from a CLA. Also, the ring around the shutter button is missing. You can see it on this one. There's nothing on this one. I presume it would have had something there originally. I don't think this is some sort of material saving thing. But you do actually quite often see Leicas for sale with that missing. Nothing else really to tell you about this one. I will fire. They're both got their shutters cocked, and they're both set at 200th of a second. And here now, this one has had a CLA in the recent years. This one, I've no idea of its history at all. It does sound perhaps a little bit noisy, and I've been playing around with it, trying it out, and the film advance is, I won't say it's stiff, but it has a bit more resistance than the other one, and that's the shutter on that one. It doesn't sound all that different, but really I'll put some film through and see how the exposure across the film plane is. So really, I think that's it. The scimitar on this one is without any iris leads, and I'm not going to explain the reason for that at the moment, but there is a sort of a logical story behind that. But I've got this lens on. It's just to pose the camera. This lens actually I've had on one of my digital cameras a few days back and took some photographs in the garden, and of course having it effectively means the lens is wide open at f2, and it does deliver some very delicious bokeh. But anyway, that's for it now. Short and sweet. I might do a few more uploads about other, well, it won't be perhaps about cameras. It might be just about general thoughts, and it's also, of course, something to do during the lockdown. I did take my 3G out last week to finish a roll of film in that, and I've taken one or two photographs of the quiet roads, and I tried to get a few people queuing in shops, but amazingly there weren't any. Just, if you like, just to record this unusual event, which we seem to be almost, I suppose, up to a point taking for granted, but there's not a lot we can do about it really. But anyway, thank you very much. All the best. Try to keep your sanity, and hopefully I'll do another vlog perhaps a little bit later on, maybe a week or two, I don't know. Anyway, all the best, people, and I hope to see you soon. Bye for now.